What's poppin', my J dolls? And I am back with another video. Before we get into this video, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe and ring that bell. You guys, we're on the road to 3,000 subscribers, so don't play with us because we are not one of them. And if you're not subscribed, go ahead and subscribe. It is free 99. And if you still don't subscribe, you a hater. Say that with your mama, because why she raised you like that? Period. So y'all, today I'm actually doing a video about how to lock in and create the life that you want for yourself. And this is coming from a person who has created the life that I wanted for myself. Am I exactly where I want to be? No, but I've become closer and closer to my dreams. And I really want to inspire people that everything is really mind over matter instead of the opposite. So I just want people to understand that a lot of people feel like they can't do certain things because of the actual physical obstacles, when it's really the mental obstacles that are holding you back. So for me, I've personally lost 158 pounds. I used to be 326 pounds. So I knew that I wanted to lose a lot of weight. I knew I was going to be small. I didn't know exactly how I was going to get there, but I knew it was going to happen. And once I got that idea that I knew it was going to happen, I actually started to make it happen. I remember I also wanted to live in San Antonio, Texas, which is where I live right now. And I lived in Minnesota at the time. I knew that if I came here, I wouldn't have a job. So I didn't know how I was going to actualize it. I just knew it was going to happen. I had already made the agreement with myself that I am going to move to San Antonio no matter what. Nothing was going to stop me back or hold me back or stop me from my goals. And look, I'm here in San Antonio, Texas. I remember looking at this apartment. I didn't know how I was going to, and this is a big thing with manifestation too. But manifestation is nothing without work. So this is why you got to lock in to make your manifestations actually flourish and come into reality. But anyways, I didn't know how I was going to get this apartment. I knew it was really nice. I knew that my credit wasn't the best. But I just knew I still was going to live here. And guess what? I live here. So it is really your mind that creates your reality. So I'm going to teach you how to lock in, because yes, you can manifest things without really doing anything, but by saying it and believing it. But you do also have to take steps at times to create the reality that you want for yourself. So the first thing I'm gonna focus on is health, because I know a lot of people are on a health kick right now. They're trying to lose weight, or they're just trying to be healthy or get fit or whatever. Like, especially we're hitting a certain age. Y'all, I'm 29. I think once you start hitting like over 26, you start really taking your health serious. I am also a weight loss coach, so I do coaching and consulting, all one-on-one. I do more of a white glove service, so it's all online. I personalize your plans. I personalize your workouts. I literally adjust them every week. I meet with you 3 times a month. It's very hands-on. All my clients lose weight. If you do need help with your weight loss, I really specialize in morbidly obese or overweight people. Make sure you go ahead and DM me on Instagram, Joanna.imperfectlyfit, and tell me I need help on my weight loss journey, and I will set you up with a free one-on-one consultation call via Zoom. So anyways, y'all, now that we got that out the way, we're going to start with health first. So it's time to lock in. So the first thing, I have notes down here on my iPad, because when I do these type of videos, I try to make sure I'm more organized, so I'm just not blabbering, because girl like talk. So anyways, y'all, so first thing, lock in with the gym. How do you lock in with the gym? Okay, the gym is not my number one thing. Food is my number one thing, but I'm gonna start with the gym. Like, how do you even lock in with the gym? I always suggest people to lock in with food first, in their relationship with food, before they lock in with the gym. But we're gonna talk about locking in with the gym, because a lot of people tend to want to hit the gym first. So a big thing is set minimum of how many times you want to go to the gym a week. Set a minimum. Don't start with a max number of times going to the gym. So if right now you don't go to the gym at all, don't be like, I'm gonna start working out 5 times a week. Because what ends up happening is then you're gonna start trying to work out 5 times a week, and you're gonna do that for about a month. You're gonna probably do that for about 2 months, maybe three, and that's me giving you a lot of benefit of the doubt. Then you're going to give up, because you're going to get exerted. You're going to skip the gym for a month. Then it's going to turn into skipping the gym for 2 months. And then you got to keep restarting. The whole point of locking in is to gain discipline, so you don't have to keep restarting anything, that you can be consistent. It's better to be slow and consistent than to be very fast and see results, and then like you're consistent for a little bit and then you just give up. Now all your hard work is really going to waste, and now you have to start from point A again. So the biggest thing is set minimals. For me, I say minimally every week I need to at least work out once a week, at least. Like, I will not let myself go throughout the week without working out at least once. That is what I mean. Set yourself a minimum, write it down. Like, I have to work out at least once a week. I have to work out at least twice a week. I think if you're not working out at all, I would start with 1 to 2 times a week first. Master that, get used to that, and then add on. Now, me particularly, I usually do work out about 2 times a week because I naturally go to run club on Mondays, and then I do strength training every week as well because you need strength training. But I'm pushing it up now to 3 days a week. But you got to just do what works for your lifestyle, right? And if you're not a big person that focuses on your food, that means you will have to work out more. But at the end of the day, that's going to be something that you gradually build up on, not something you become overnight. Don't burn yourself out, because this is the biggest part of this. Like, once you start setting minimums that's way too high for you, saying 5 times a week, every day of the week, twice a day. When I see people working out twice a day, I'm like, you're freaking nuts. You're never going to keep up with that. You're going to exert yourself, and then you're going to start from ground zero again because you're going to sabotage. Do not burn yourself out with the gym, okay? Or anything that you do. Make realistic goals and stick to them. Maybe make to-do lists and stick with them. Don't put too much stuff on your to-do list. I'm very guilty of that. Like, putting way too much stuff, and it's hard for you to lock in. If you can't get everything done, then you start to feel defeated. Start small, work your way up. A lot of people want to be at the finish line. You gotta at least start at the beginning to get to the finish line. So those are my biggest keys, my 2 biggest keys when it comes to locking into the gym. Next thing is locking in with food. Okay, so make slow, gradual changes. So when it comes to your food, this is the same thing with working out. If you're eating out, I say this all the time, but if you're eating out every single day of the week, multiple times a day, do not try to come from that to not eating out at all for like a month or 2 months. Yes, you're going to see results, but what happens is you're going to get burnt out from that, and you're going to go back to your old ways, and then all your results will be for waste. So just make sure that you're making small adjustments. Like, if you are eating out every day, maybe try to cut that down a day or 2 for the week. So like, maybe if you're eating out 7 times a week, maybe you need to start eating out 5 times a week. Do that for a while. Don't just try to do it for a week. Try to do it for like a month, I would say. A month or 3 weeks. I'll say about 3 weeks. And then you lower that down a bit to like 4 days a week. And then you can lower it. Then you can lower it. Then you're going to eventually get to the point where you don't even like to eat out that much. It's a psychological thing. And this is something I teach my clients in how to like become disciplined. You need routine. You need schedule. You need structure. A lot of people that are overweight or obese, morbidly obese, as I used to be, don't have a lot of routine when it comes to their food and their exercise, and that is where the problem starts. You just need to start with a schedule. To lock in, you need a schedule, you need a routine. And it doesn't matter if you work a complicated work schedule. That's another thing. I work with a lot of clients that they have like non-traditional work schedules. You still can literally plan. You just have to plan strategically. So y'all, now the next thing is, with doing this slow, gradual change, you'll be able to sustain it. Y'all, sorry, I'm probably looking like a little hunchback, but I don't want the shadow to be in my face or whatever. So the next thing is make a meal plan every week and stick to it. So write down a meal plan. Like, this is not just, meal prep your meals. No, write it down. Like, okay, this is what I'm gonna have for breakfast. This is what I'm gonna have for lunch. This is what I'm gonna have for snacks. And this is for people that are still new on their journey. They're trying to learn how to lock into, stick it to what they're gonna say they're gonna do. So if you literally make a plan of what you're supposed to eat, what days you're supposed to eat out, like what's gonna be your cheat meal or whatnot, what day you're gonna have your cheat meals and whatever, then you will literally have a plan. So when you don't plan, you plan to fail. And if you don't know how your days are going to look, you're going to end up being in a chaotic mindset, and you're going to just go for whatever's quick, which is usually fast food or junk food or whatever. But if you already prepare for the week, you write it down, you go grocery shop for the week, you're going to be set. And don't make excuses. Everybody got time to grocery shop. I grocery shop at 10 p.m. at night. Baby, them grocery stores be open till like 11 p.m. sometimes. So you have time. It's just what you make time for. So you have to create routines so that you can actually really stick to it. A lot of people want to use excuses. And the biggest thing about being disciplined and locking in and learning how to be disciplined is going based off your plan versus your feelings. So if you don't have a plan, it's going to be hard for you to go after your plan versus your feelings because you don't even have a plan. So you need to plan what you're going to eat for breakfast, what you're going to eat for lunch, what you're going to eat for dinner, what you're going to eat for snacks, what day you're going to eat out, and stick to it. Stick to it. Stick to the plan. And as you get farther, you'll be able to learn how to navigate through that. Like sometimes maybe things don't go as planned. Then what do you do? What places can you go to that are healthier options, whatnot? Now, the next thing I'm going to talk about is locking into your purpose and like things that you want for yourself. Because this is really big. I think when you go through a transformation, it's good to like lock into everything that you want in life when it comes to your physical, your mental, your spiritual, everything like needs to be aligned. Interesting how my throat just got crackly there. I'm a spiritual queen, so that just is in confirmation. But anyways, a big thing to learn is what is your passion? What is your purpose? I think a lot of people are so lost in the everyday things of just doing what they have to do versus doing what they love to do. Okay, I think a lot of us growing up feel like, okay, let's pick a career or something that we really like, that we're passionate about. But sometimes people will pick a career based off of the pay of the career or what they think they might like, and then they get in it, they don't like it, which is totally fine because sometimes you don't know what you're getting into until you get into it. But really looking deep down in yourself, taking time to journal, taking time to get to know yourself, to figure out what are your passions, what fills you up, what makes you happy. I think everything you do is going to come with a downside. I think a big thing is people, no matter if you're following something that you love, there's going to be something you don't love about it. But it's about that passion. When you have the passion that it fills you up and just makes you feel like you're doing what you're supposed to do, even through the times of the things you don't like to do, you're going to still love what you do, if that makes sense. But if you start doing something that you're not passionate about, those heavier I don't likes are going to feel like I hate my life because it's something that you don't like and it's something that doesn't fill you up and it's something that's not within your passion. And a big thing is some people say, oh, how do I lock in? Like, how do I find my passions? I think a lot of our passions stem from childhood. So try to remember yourself as a child in the sense of what did you enjoy as a child? How was your personality as a child before people started to taint it? Like before people were telling you can't do this, before people were telling you, oh, you're weird for liking this, or before people's opinions affected your personality, what was your personality? What did you enjoy? What were you passionate about? And those are your true passions. I don't think those passions truly change. It might be like the things that you like change a little bit, but when it comes to like let's say you used to like to draw or something as a kid. Even if you don't like to draw anymore, you're still an artist. You still have that characteristics of being an artist. So you got to lock in and understand what part of you likes to be creative and how can you use your passions to fulfill your life, even if that's career-wise, if you want to create a career around your passions, or if you just want to use your passions as your hobbies so that you pour into yourself, and you don't lose sight of, what you used to enjoy. So that's a big thing. So another question I ask, are you living in fear or purpose? This is a big thing. Like when you're ready to lock into whatever you want to do in life, it could be like you want to move across the country, you want to buy a new car, you want to get a new job, you want to start a business, whatever. Always questioning yourself, are you moving in fear or are you moving in purpose? Because when you move out of fear, you're less likely to stay consistent with things. You're less likely to actually see anything through because you're worried about the negative. You're worried about if it fails. You're worried about if you can make it. And then those type of things will hold you back from even pursuing things that you want because you are using your fear instead of your purpose. And this is something I had to learn. Like even moving to San Antonio, when I moved here, I didn't have any fear. I didn't have any fear, which is crazy. Like, how the heck did you move to a whole nother state? You didn't have a job. You didn't have money. Like, you didn't know what was next, but you had no fear. And that's because I trust God. And I trust His guidance in my life. Because I was told that I need to move to Texas. I knew that this is something God wanted for me. And I knew that this San Antonio specifically is where God wanted me to be. And I know that I have made it through so many obstacles in my life, so many struggles, that I am equipped. I have the tools. God gives me the tools to get through anything in life. I will figure it out. And God has given me the ability to figure things out. I mean, as a child, I had to figure things out in my household. I had to lead. I had to solve problems. So he gave me those tools. So a big thing to understand is like, don't move out of fear and move within purpose, because fear is going to hold you back, and it's going to cause you to make excuses. It's going to cause you to feel comfortable staying where you're at. A lot of things about locking in is because if you're not locking in, it's because you're comfortable. You don't want to be uncomfortable. You don't want to do the things you don't want to do. You don't want to stay consistent. You don't want to keep yourself accountable. You don't, even if you want to deep down inside, you're not pushing yourself to do things you don't feel like doing. And that's why you have to go based off your plan and not based off you feel. Because feelings are based off emotions. And those emotions can sometimes trick us that the things that we're supposed to do for ourselves are too dangerous or are too uncomfortable or just too much work. And that's not the case. It is our mind that's making us overthink that we're not moving our bodies. So this is a big thing, even when it comes to working out, having a healthier lifestyle, to changing your careers, to moving, whatever. It's like if you let your mind too much go into the overthinking of negativity, overthinking and over planning, because there's a good balance of planning and just, okay, this is what I'm gonna do. Like, let me give myself, like, let's say I'm gonna give myself 2 hours to plan or something, whatever you schedule out, and then whatever my plan is, that's it. Like, I'm not going to keep tweaking it. I'm not going to keep overthinking it. I'm not going to keep pushing dates back and having this analysis paralysis, because that will keep you trapped of like, oh, it's not the perfect moment to move. It's not the perfect moment to do my, workout or to start my new healthy lifestyle. I got to start on Monday all these excuses is because you're overthinking it. And in that overthinking creates fear and anxiety. So then now you're holding yourself back. So to lock in, you got to release the perception of perfectionism. That's a big thing. Like, being a perfectionist will literally hold you back in life. It will just stop you from starting anything because you want it to be perfect. And if it's not right, you want to give up. No, you have to keep going. Stick to the plan, not your feelings. Even if it's not going right, even if you go somewhere and everything's falling apart, keep going. Even if you've been working out and you've been eating right and you're not losing a pound, keep going. If you keep doing something, you're going to eventually see results from it. When have you continued to do something for years and never got better at it? Like, there's literally no way. Like, I've been doing YouTube for 5 years, and no, I'm not exactly where I want to be, but I'm better at it. Like, now I get paid sponsorships. Before, I never got paid sponsorships. Now I get paid for monetization on my YouTube channel. I never had been monetized before this year. If I would have gave up before this year, I wouldn't even be paid from YouTube. I wouldn't have paid sponsorships. I wouldn't be having brand deals. Like, of course, it's going to get bigger. It's going to get better as I'm putting more time and more effort into it. But if you give up, you see no results. If you keep going, you're going to see something. Even with my TikTok, I remember I was doing this thing where, like, on my TikTok, I started posting every single day. This was when I was first losing weight and I had VSG and I was on my liquid diet. This was over 3 years ago. Yeah, I started like over 3 years ago on TikTok, and that's when I started. Well, I had started before that, but that's when I started posting every day and like giving them updates, what I was doing, my workouts, what liquids I was having, with me on the surgery day, all types of stuff. And my TikTok started growing. Yes, right now I have 1,800 I just hit 1,800 followers, y'all. Yes, I only have 1,800 followers, but you know how hard it is for someone to get 1,000 followers on TikTok, starting from zero? We have to remember we're starting at zero. Now 1,800 people follow me on TikTok. First of all, you know how hard it is for people to even want to follow somebody on TikTok? I barely follow people on TikTok because it's like one of those fast strolling apps. You're just strolling through, 100,000 content creators. Versus YouTube, it's like, okay, you find your person, you like their personality, you subscribe, even though it's hard to get subscribers too. So for me to be at 2,000 and almost 700, I believe, is insane. When I started with 0, now 2,700 people are subscribed to my channel, and I get over 10,000 views a month. 10,000 views. And we're so desensitized to these numbers because we see people with 100,000. We see people with 1,000,000. But I know a lot of creators will say, imagine being in a room. Imagine me being in a room with 2,700 people. I would want to pass out. Like when I go to Run Club and it's 1,000 people, I'm like want to throw up because I get overwhelmed by crowds. So we're gonna see how when my life just takes me even farther and farther. Y'all see me in real life, and I start really meeting you guys. How am I gonna do? How am I gonna feel? Because a lot of these things, when things are moving slower in your life, even when it comes to your fitness journey, comes to your career journey, when it comes to your purpose, or even if you're doing content creation or whatever, these steps are necessary for your growth. Because let's say overnight you just become an overnight success, in a sense of, okay, you post today and now you're famous tomorrow, which happens. But a lot of times when that happens, these people have been posting for a while. Let's say literally you're just a regular old Joe, never posted anything. And then today you posted on TikTok. Tomorrow you're now known everywhere. Brands are calling you everything. But you've only posted one video in your whole life. Now are you prepared to now take all these partnerships? You never had a brand deal before. You've never been done these partnerships. You never had these contracts. Are you prepared now? You only did one video. So that's something I had to learn. Like, dang, I've been doing this for 5 years. Am I prepared? Like almost like my first subscribers seen me in real life. And I'm like, whoa, like, am I prepared to I'm very nice and I love people. I'm like, whoa, like this is real life. People actually see me. Like Minnesota, nobody really see me. A lot of my subscribers were not from Minnesota. So now I have a lot of subscribers from Texas, to be honest. So like I probably will really see people and be like, whoa, don't you do YouTube? Or I seen you somewhere. And I've had people say, oh, I seen you somewhere. And I'm like, I ain't never seen you, babes. But maybe you have. And then I forget. And then my friends will be like, oh, well, she does YouTube, da da da. And I'm like, whoa, I didn't even think in my head to be like, oh, well, yeah, maybe YouTube or something. Like, and that is that's me just not being like, what is that called? Just kind of like, I'm a very I don't want to say humble because I don't like the word humble, but I'm just very wholesome. I'm very like a regular human being. You know what I'm saying? I think even if I was to blow up tomorrow and have 1 million followers, when you see me in real life, I'm a regular human being. Like, I'm a vibe with you. Like, I've had people DM me like, whoa, like, you're really cool. Like, I would, you know what I'm saying? I'm like, yes, like, I'm just a regular person. Like, even if I was famous, I'm a regular person. Now, if it start getting crowded, like, everybody's swarming at me now, I don't really like to be bum rushed or whatever. But, like, if you come and you approach me, like, very chill, like, I'm a very chill person. I'm like, hey, da da. Even if I don't know you, like, I talk to strangers on the street. Like, literally, I'm just, like, an open person like that. But that was just a whole rant. But practically, you got to be prepared for what you're asking for. Just like for me, like, if I would have lost weight, like, even people think like when you have VSG or if you get a GLP and stuff like that, you're going to lose weight overnight. That is not the case. But let's say if I woke up one day and then I was big yesterday and then today I'm just skinny. That's what it seemed like to people like on my journey, but they don't even realize that took me like a year and a half. Like I was going back to my pictures on Instagram. And I remember Halloween 2023, like I was way smaller than I was before when I was 326 pounds, but my belly was still bigger, like more prominent, like my face was still a little bit more round. And I'm like, whoa, like this is 2023, right? I had VSG, I think in 2021, close to 2022, something like that. And now it's 2025 going into 2026, and I look the best that I ever been in my life. And it's not just because I had that, it's because I kept working. Like, don't ever get comfortable. Like, that's what the part of locking in. You can't get comfortable. Even when you see some success, even when you see some growth, the only way you can keep succeeding is by keep doing. So if you don't lock in, whatever you do will never sustain itself because you keep stopping. Like, you're doing it and then you're stopping. Like, let's say if I started in 2021 and now I just stopped working out, I stopped eating right, all this type of stuff is like, I'm gonna get big again. Like, that's just the thing. Like, if I post content and then I just don't post content for a whole year, I could have a big viral video, but I ain't post a whole year. I'm still not making money. I'm still not showing up, and people are going to start forgetting about me. And so that's a big thing. Like, when I started losing weight and stuff, I started becoming more disciplined. And because before I would have a hard time even posting content. Like, there was times I was getting 20,000 views, y'all. I was getting 16,000 views. Those were the times I was not posting. I was not ready. Okay. I would post. I was in college. It was more of a creative outlet. I would post and then I would just ghost for months on end. And once I started my weight loss journey, that's when I started being like, I got to post every week. I got to. When you start having a minimum and you got to do it, like, I have to. What are we talking about? Put it in your phone. I started learning that sometimes for me, y'all, if I put stuff in my calendar more in a sense, like, let's say I have to learn what works for me when it comes to planning. If I sit here and put in my calendar, like kind of a gist of, let me see, y'all, if I can get something. Okay, this is kind of a good one. So if I start putting in my calendar, like, okay, what I gotta do for today, like, okay, I gotta do Uber a certain time, I gotta vlog a certain time, I gotta, like, plan my content at a certain time. Once I start putting that like that, it locks me in. Like, I'm more locked in. Like, I realize if I plan in I have another planner in my iPad. If I plan in this iPad, I'm not gonna open the iPad. But this phone is going to be with me at all times. And this phone is going to alert me when it's time to do what I need to do. So I put it on my phone and I schedule an alert. Like, remind me an hour before, remind me 2 hours before. And so that I am holding myself responsible. And I think this is a big thing. If you don't hold yourself responsible, you're not going to be able to lock in. And this is also for people that want to be like content creators, want to be entrepreneurs. If you cannot keep yourself set on the things that you're saying you're going to do, it's going to be very hard for you to succeed. It's going to be very hard for you to stick on a path of self-employment, because self-employment is you pushing yourself. Like, I have to choose, oh, let me go do Uber today. Like, Uber's not telling me I have to work because it's contract work, right? So I'm choosing. If I don't feel like working, I can just be like, hey, I don't want to work today. And that's cool and dandy. I love having the freedom. But with freedom, you have to also be in control of how free you let yourself be, right? Or I could be like, oh yeah, no, I don't feel like working on my website today, so I'm just not going to work on the website. I don't feel like posting the content, so I'm just not going to post the content. I've learned that the biggest things that you don't want to do are really the best things for you. And honestly, this is something I'm pushing myself. I'm not perfect. A lot of my friends say I'm actually more structured than I think. Like, they see me as structured. And for me, like, I date somebody right now that's very structured, very disciplined person. And I can see how I'm structured, but I'm a free spirit structured person. And he's like a real plan structure, like follow the plan type of person, which I admire about him. So for me, I don't see myself as structured, but to other people, they see me as structured. Like, oh girl, you really stick to what you go to say. Oh girl, you really don't play about like what you eat. Oh girl, you don't, like, you know what I'm saying? But I know there's people out there more structured than me, because I could be like, oh, today I really don't feel like working. Now, if I don't work today, I'm still going to be focused on my creative life, right? I'm technically working. I never get an off day because I'm locked in. Like, now you have to understand where you're feeling overwhelmed. You will get to a point locking in. The downside of it is you will get to a point where you're exerted, right? Because when you lock in, you're going to get tired eventually, especially if you got a big goal. Like, if you have a big goal you're trying to get to and that's your plan, it's going to take some work. It's going to take some sacrificing of time, some sacrificing of people, because some people you can't have around you when you're doing that. You got to surround yourself by the right people. Like, that's another thing about locking in. Like, you have to, if you want to lock in, you got to have the right people around you. If you're trying to be on a fitness journey, you need to have fit people around you, bro. Like, you got to have people, they don't have to look fit. They have to have a fitness lifestyle, because my business is called Imperfectly Fit, because fitness is not a look, it's a lifestyle. And so you got to have people around you that they like to go work out. They like to go to run clubs. They like to go to workout classes. Their favorite thing is not to go out to eat. If you got friends and their favorite thing is to go out to eat, you're going to end up that's going to be your favorite thing, to go out to eat. So every time y'all hang out, y'all going to go out to dinner. Y'all going to go out for drinks. Y'all going to go out for food, because that is their favorite thing to do. You have to start finding people, their favorite things are to be active. Their favorite things to be creative. Their favorite things is connecting with people. Like, maybe having a drink, but not having to get drunk all the time. Or, like, you have to find the right people around you, because the people around you will shape your mindset in positive and negative ways. And this is, if you are wanting to be wealthy, you want to be rich, surround yourself by wealthy and rich people. Put yourself in wealthy and rich neighborhoods. Push yourself to go to wealthy networking events. Network. I have learned this. To lock in, you have to network. You don't need to spend your time watching too much TV. You don't need to spend your time consuming too much content. You need to be out there meeting people, be out there talking about what you do, so you can build your confidence every time you talk about what you do. So you can learn from people doing what you want to do, or you can learn from people that have businesses. You can learn from people that are fit. What do they do? What do they eat? What do they look? What do their life look like? Like, the fittest people, they don't even eat what they love most of the time. They eat what they need to get their protein, to get their gains, to get their muscle, to lose their weight, whatever. Like, you have to be around people that's like-minded, And I learned that as moving myself to San Antonio. So even if you want to move to a different state, moving myself to San Antonio have put me around the right people. I've been around the most wealthy people since I've moved here, and they've been the most generous people with information. Honestly, they've been the nicest people. And I just got lucky, because I just picked the perfect neighborhood, and I picked the perfect, I could pick up the energy. I'm really intuitive person. I can read energy. I can read people. So for me, I picked the perfect environment, because don't get me wrong, there's some parts of San Antonio where there's rich people and they're very snobby. And I've experienced those people. And then I've been in parts of San Antonio where they're rich and you will never even know they're rich. Like, they'll talk to you like you're a normal human being. They'll give you the information you need. You'll meet somebody, they'll want to go have coffee with you, give you all the things the knowledge that they have, right? And also, I'm like that. I'm generous with knowledge. If somebody want to ask me about how to do YouTube, I will tell them, like, you got to tag this, make your titles here. I had a friend before she was doing YouTube. I told her, like, this is what you need to do. This is the tags you need to use. This is da-da-da. Like, even my friend one of my friends taught me how to run. I taught another friend, like, stand up straight. Keep your head up. Don't put your head down when you're running. Like, if that friend if I didn't have that friend that knew how to run, I wouldn't know how to run. But I just surrounded I saw myself around a friend that's fit, right? And she been running for a long time. She said, okay, when you run, stand up straight. And then you have to know how to take constructive criticism. Anytime you lock it in, you got to learn how to take constructive criticism. Not everything is a personal attack, but you can use your intuition to understand if somebody's trying to bring you down or somebody's trying to lift you up. If they're trying to give you some type of feedback that's going to improve you and help you, cool. If they're trying to give you some feedback to discourage you, no. Okay? So I had a friend, she said, oh yeah, straddle. Don't try to sprint, because that's going to slow you down. That's going to get you out of breath. Like, try to run the whole mile through. I'm like, okay, cool. Like, she motivated me and showed me, and I'm like, whoa, I can do this. Like, I didn't know you had to do this. Like, I just started running. I just joined a run club. And once I started using that strategy, I'm getting better and better and able to run like 3 miles now. What the heck, And before, when I first started with her, I could barely finish my first mile all the way through, right? So you have to surround yourself. And then I end up telling my friend, stand up straight. Like, don't let yourself lean over, especially when you're so tall. Like, I'm 5'6", But like I just noticed like when you're taller like than a lot of the girls, like it's harder for you to stand up straight. You have to keep talking to yourself. Like as you're running, you have to talk to yourself like to keep yourself going, to be honest. Everything is your mind. Once you start thinking I can't do it, I can't do it, even when you're doing a workout. As soon as you put in your head you can't do it, you can't do it. Because you already made that agreement. You got to read that book, 4 Agreements. You have to fill your time with knowledge. So whatever the content you're consuming, make it about what you're trying to lock into. So if you're trying to lock into the gym and healthy lifestyle, stop watching mukbangs all the time. Stop watching food reviews. Stop seeing whatever's new food in your city. There's ways, I taught my client, there's ways that you can take off the settings on your TikTok of what to recommend you and what not to recommend you. Start having people on your feed that's in the gym, a healthy what I eat in a day's mindset, healthy mindset. That's what my feed is about, mindset, spirituality. Like, I don't even, like, all that other BS is not even on my For You page, right? My YouTube, what I'm watching. Like, I might have fun and watch a couple vlogs, but I also have motivational people that are millionaires, people where I want to be, fitness people, like, people on different journeys that I'm on. So immerse yourself in what you want. That's when you know you're locking in. When you immerse yourself, when you set a plan, when you stick to what you say you're going to do and not how you feel, that is when you know that you're ready to level up. And I think we're getting to that age when we don't want to keep playing. We don't want to keep playing, okay? Choose the life you want to live. And that's the one thing I really hate, when people will make it seem like, oh, whoa, it's me, like everything's happening to me. Not everything's happening to you. Everything's happening for you. Once it happens, you'll be like, whoa, okay, life sucks. I can feel it. I can journal what's going wrong in my life, or maybe I'm doing the things and nothing's happening, and I can feel those feelings. It is valid to feel those feelings. Emotional intelligence is like feeling those feelings, knowing that they're there, and then now figuring out how you want to approach those feelings in the most emotional, stable way. Because a big part of us, once something's not working or going the way we want, we want to give up. I'm done. Like, it's not running. Okay, well, if you give up, it's really not going to work. So to feel those feelings, I feel them feelings all the time. Like, damn, I'm tired of this. I don't want to do this no more. I'm sad today. This is that. Okay, write it down, jot it down, release it. All right, what's the plan? And people used to hate that about me because I don't feel bad for people. Like, I can empathize with people, but I'm not going to feel bad for you. I'm going to be, okay, that's a sad circumstance. I understand that circumstance, A, B, C, D, E through Z, right? But what are you going to do now? It happened. What do you do now? And it happened for you. Everything happens for you. I don't believe in coincidence. So, sad story. Sad life. I've been through a lot of things in my life. Where do we take it from here? So that's key. Let me know in the comments on an agreement you have with yourself. Like, what do you agree to yourself to lock in? Like, do you agree to be consistent? Do you agree to plan? Do you agree to prioritize yourself? Do you agree to make small strategic changes? Do you agree to put yourself out there? Another thing is, we're always really scared of new friends and new people, and we want to be comfortable with our old people. But I'm going to tell you right now, moving to San Antonio, I met nothing but new people. Obviously, I didn't have any friends. No family here, nothing. Everybody I know now, I just met them. I've only been here for 7 months, and a lot of people know me. Like, a lot of people be like, well, like, they know me. Like, content creators know me, you know. Like, people in my neighborhood know me. People that own different places in my neighborhood and all that, they know me. The reason why they know me is because I'm putting myself out there. I'm going to events. I'm talking to people. Well, they really approach me a lot. I'm very inviting. But I'm willing to talk to people. So if somebody approaches me, I'm willing to hold that conversation with them. And so putting yourself out there, going to networking events, going to finding different things in your community that aligns with you. I remember in Minnesota, I started being in the art community, and I started doing a lot of poetry there and all that type of stuff. And I started building a community there. And that was my first ever community. And now being in San Antonio, I'm in so many communities, y'all. I'm in a fitness community where we're friends and we'll do fit stuff together. And then we'll also do like brunch things and other things together. And then I'm in a community that we do content creation together. We're all content creators. And then I'm in a community where business owners, like, get in the community. Meet people, put yourself out there. The worst thing people can say is no. Try to get mentors. The worst thing people can say is no. But I'm going to leave that there, and I'll see y'all in the next video. Bye.